last topic before we get out of here. I think we got about 10 minutes or so left. Logic and Charlamagne. Jay Diff, we talked about Logic, and we were talking about this prior to coming on.
We actually talked about him last episode too.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the Charlamagne piece.
Okay.
In terms of him not hitting the black circuit, if you will, from a radio standpoint, the interview standpoint, whatever he puts out as material. And he actually had a verse where he talked about he excludes the Breakfast Club because Charlamagne's a clown, and he talks about all that stuff. And that led Charlamagne to give him Donkey of the Day and to pretty much berate him on what he talks about in terms of biracial, biting Kendrick, biting all these people in his style. So we've talked about all this stuff before, but I want to ask you what you think about the piece about him not reaching out to some of the urban locations when it's time for the album to come out. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Because I think Charlamagne hit the nail on the head. If you think about it, he doesn't hit Hot 97.
Yeah.
Doesn't hit the Breakfast Club when he goes through his rounds.
It's catering to his fan base.
Don't do that.
He's trying to remain safe.
He's trying to stay safe. Okay.
And what I mean by safe is going to the Breakfast Club. I mean, they hold no punches.
They gonna challenge
Facts.
you.
You know what I'm saying? So when he's hitting all these different markets, he's staying in a safe realm of people that aren't going to challenge him to have to speak on something that he either A, doesn't have an answer for,
Right.
or doesn't know how to answer it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, Charlamagne actually had a good point.
Yeah.
But he went at it. Logic did get at him on his album.
He did. He
about
put him in a
something.
verse.
Yeah.
He mentioned a part about him, talking about what he was, the bet that he had with Tekashi. What he said he would do if he ended up getting out of jail or whatever. I don't really want to talk about that. I don't want to say that per se, but he definitely mentioned fam in his verse. Got at him. And Charlamagne had some good points, especially I was thinking Charlamagne was just going to try to clown and, do the comedy routine and just do Donkey of the Day. Till he mentioned the point about the urban circuit for the interviews. I was like, yeah, he got a point right there, 100%. He has a point. Lone, you said, I heard you chime in talking about his fan base.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I think Terry's point's better than my point.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I think it has something to do with it too, though.
What's that?
What he's saying about his fan base.
Yeah.
Because before we came on, I mentioned that I feel like he's trying to be like Eminem, and what I mean by being like Eminem is not being Eminem as far as an artist, but wanting to tap into his fans as the new face of that. And since he identifies as biracial, which he wants everybody to know on every album, every song, whatever,
100%.
he kind of fits that mold to take that position, with M being, I wouldn't say retirement age because, I mean, he still can spit, but a younger face that can take on those so-called fans who don't like rap, but hey, I mess with Logic. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you.
So
Yeah.
I'm with you. Spoolz, jump in. What are your thoughts?
Again, I think that made a lot of sense too. I don't know a ton about Logic. And I watched his episode, the Rapture episode about him.
Yeah.
Really appreciate his I don't know, just like passion in general, I guess. His music doesn't catch me, but he's a talented person.
I agree.
And he could be doing that. Like what Terry just said, like that Eminem crowd of, and I'll go further with what he said, like, I don't really mess with rap music and I don't really mess with black MCs, but Logic is that safe guy.
Yeah.
For that group.
mm-hmm.
He could be.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's kind of fucked up, dude.
It is.
if that's the case. I hope not. Because Logic seems to, like, him being biracial obviously affected him a great deal.
It still does, apparently.
So
question
if that's what
about
he
it.
wants to rap about, it, go for it, man. I don't know what that's like. So if you need to get that off, cool. Like that, But and the whole
Kind of like how Eminem rapped about his mom and
Yeah, yeah.
man, I mean, there's
Same cloth.
yeah.
Same cloth.
there's something to identify with a certain audience. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, he's talented. I think. I've never bought a Logic album. I probably won't ever buy a Logic album. But he seems to be doing really well for himself, and I more dig on like I thought it was cool, like the whole 1-800 song or whatever, like the depression, like that's real shit, man. Like
Yeah.
like I thought that was cool.
But
He's a little much for me. That's kind of all.
but didn't
There's a
he
lane for that,
didn't he
though.
even like snatch that idea from somebody else?
Yeah, that's been done before.
See, I didn't know
It's
that
just
either.
kind of like
I didn't realize that.
when
so
you
y'all
try
put
to
me on
like
that.
him, it's kind of like
Yeah.
oh.
That's kind of what I'm trying to do. I feel like right now, I'm like, you just shot one of the things down. I didn't know that.
Charlamagne
So,
got
like-
at him about that.
Really?
Yeah, about him pulling from everything else.
It's
Now,
like,
the
it's,
black. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, I was just gonna say it's like he takes popular things
Yeah.
by like artists that are maybe not mixed.
Yeah, yeah.
He's kind of Elvis-ing a little bit
Well, let me ask
We've
this.
been talking about that for years.
You talked about the black, like, or urban
because
markets.
he appeals to a different market.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, does the black and urban markets like Logic?
Well,
I don't know if he's embraced.
Is he embraced by?
but you got to understand too. Logic. Before I even knew who Logic was, I thought he was a white dude
I did
that
too.
was rapping because a lot of his tapes were called Sinatra
Bingo.
and Rat Pack, and it's I'm like,
Yeah.
okay,
Okay.
I see what dude's doing. You know what I'm saying? Cool. I didn't really check him out like that though.
Yeah.
But I don't think he ever really tried
Yeah.
because he kind of got in his pocket and he stayed there. And now that he's more popular, I don't know.
So if folks aren't rocking with you, why would you go to this radio station? Not trying to defend Logic.
Yeah.
Because you're supposed to be a part of that culture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure, that makes sense.
You
You know what I
benefit
mean?
off of
he
it.
was still going 106 in Park.
He would
back
go on
in the
106
day.
apart.
Yeah.
I seen In Sync on 106
But
in Park.
is Power One up? Oh, that's a different conversation. Like, do you have to be part of the culture to go to talk to Charlamagne
No.
and Ebro?
Nah.
I mean, they talked to
You know what I'm saying?
book authors and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Reality
He's, you know,
stars, all that type of goofy stuff.
I don't
kinda
know. I feel
least-
you though. That like I feel you. It's an interesting topic.
yeah.
But skipping over them and Hot 97, it just kind of stuck out to me because those are what we would call staples when you talk about the hip hop run when people do interviews.